What is up, guys? Yeah, gross, right? I have a mustache. Let's just move on from that. This is my top 10 favorite films that came out last year, 2018. It is a new year, it is 2019, and there are many movies that are coming out, and I am extremely excited for what is to come. But until then, let's cover the first top 10 of last year, and then we'll maybe get into what I'm looking forward to in 2019. Or maybe that'll be put in another video, depends on how long this one goes. But I thought I'd share this with you guys because if you guys don't know me, I love film and I love film discussion, and I'm not a critic in any way, but I do like movies and I do like sharing movies with people, so why not create a top 10 list? I know top 10 lists are kind of overplayed, and honestly a lot of people are sick of them, but it's a nice way to kind of break down and give recommendations to people who might have seen these movies or might have overlooked them, and it's a nice way of sharing what you like and kind of showing what kind of person you are through a list that you create. I don't know if you get that. I didn't get it either. I kind of lost track of what I was saying towards the end. So if you picked up what I meant, yeah, this is my list. But before that, I thought I'd cover some honorable mentions, some movies that I really appreciated, but it didn't quite make my top 10 list, and that's the thing about top 10 lists, you can only put 10 in there. Who knew? So yeah, my top 10 will come after my honorable mention. So let me begin first by prefacing by saying Black Panther is not on my list, and nor is Crazy Rich Asians. I know what people might say.
How dare you? Who in the hell do you think you are?
They might say, hey, you're letting down the Asian community by not putting Crazy Rich Asians on there. And if you say that, I think you're kind of stupid. It's about personal preference, and I don't think Crazy Rich Asians is on my top 10. I think it was a really great movie, a very fun romantic comedy, and I love seeing people that looked like me, and when I say like me, I say that very loosely because everyone there was way prettier than me. But it was a great movie and it was fun, but it doesn't make my top 10. And Black Panther was not one of my favorite movies. I thought it was a very good movie, but I have a whole review about that explaining why I didn't love the movie. I thought it was very good, it was very effective, but I thought its cultural importance was much better. And if I've made a top 10 list of movies that were culturally impactful and that had the most impact in certain communities, then yes, it would definitely go on my top 1 to 3 or something like that. But that list is about my favorite movies, and I'm sorry if it offends anyone, but I don't know what to say. So yeah, let's get into it. Honorable mentions. There's coffee in this. It's not alcohol. Could use some. Okay, so honorable mentions. Let's first start off with some movies that I really appreciated but just didn't quite make my top 10, like I said before. So first one I'd like to mention is Upgrade.
Here's the thing. 4 guys murdered my wife.
Don't you fucking catch up!
If I could find these men, I'd do it.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again?
If you guys haven't seen Upgrade, it's a movie directed by Lee Winnell, starring Logan Marshall Green. A lot of people like to refer to it as Venom, but done way better. I like to refer to it as the same exact thing as what those people would say. It is Venom, but done way better, way more effective, and I think it was one of the best sci-fi action thrillers that has come out, that has put me on the edge of my seat and made me excited about where sci-fi is going. And it was just a really fun performance done by Logan Marshall Green that you guys should not overlook. You guys should definitely watch it. If it's out on DVD or Blu-ray, or if it's up for download, go see it. It's great.
You didn't know that I'm a fucking ninja.
While I am state of the art, I am not a ninja.
My next film is mid-90s.
Skating like shit today, man.
Looks cool to me.
I'm Ruben.
Stevie.
How long you been friends with those guys?
Couple months.
They're really cool. They're so cute. They're like at the age before guys become dicks.
So, mid-90s is director Jonah Hill's first directorial debut. It stars Sonny Sulyk. Let me just tell you that mid-90s is not on my top 10 list, and I was really sad not to put it on my top 10 list, but I believe it does deserve on a lot of people's top 10 because it's a very effective movie in capturing childhood, capturing the coming of age of children in the 90s or even now. And a lot of it is because of the relatable performances by Sonny and Nickel, and some of the best scenes are just the dialogue between those characters and between all these characters that are in the 90s skating craze and skating scene. Me, I was never part of the skating scene, obvious reasons. I just didn't fit in that community. And another reason, I don't like boards. Anything involving boards, I can't do it. I have terrible balance. If you know me, I fall down a lot. So yeah, skating, not my thing. But mid-90s, definitely my thing. Great movie, go watch it, go catch it. Wish I could talk more about it, but I'd bore you guys to death. So, moving on to my next one, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a Coen Brothers directed film. It stars everyone. Has James Franco in it. It has, oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? It doesn't just have James Franco, it has a bunch of other people, but this is a crazy list, and I just said everyone, starring everyone. But yes, Liam Neeson. It has, it has Dudley from Harry Potter. I don't know his name. I didn't write down his name, but I think he gives one of the best performances. It's a six short film anthology movie, and it covers 6 different stories that take place in the post-Civil War era in America, and it's really, really interesting. It's dark comedy done at its best, and I think it should not go overlooked. It's really not a fun kind of ride. It's not a movie that you want to sit down with your family and be like, let's pop open the popcorn and let's watch this. It's definitely something you kind of want to watch and observe on your own, and a lot of it is stuff that will stick with you, and it's imagery that will stick with you in the long run, and I think it was really great, and I think the writing was really great, and I think you should watch it too.
First time.
So moving on to my next one, Black Klansman.
Hello, this is Ron Stallworth calling. Who am I speaking with?
This is David Duke.
Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That David Duke?
God, last time I checked. What can I do you for?
Well, since you asked, I hate blacks. I hate Jews, Mexicans, and Irish, Italians, and Chinese. But my mouth to God's ears, I really hate those black rats. And anyone else, really, that doesn't have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins.
I'm happy to be talking to a true white American.
God bless white America.
Black Klansman is a movie directed by Spike Lee, and a lot of Spike Lee's movies have been kind of hit or miss with me. Sometimes I feel like Spike Lee is a little bit obvious in how he gives out his messages in his movies. Sometimes I feel like he hits the brakes and he likes to kind of preach, which the message I always sort of resonate with and I get, but I feel like it takes out of the movie. And Black Klansman isn't a movie that really changes that kind of format in terms of Spike Lee's direction. But I think it is a lot more cohesive, and I think it's a lot more straightforward, and I think it sticks to the story a lot better than a lot of his other movies. So I think this is a really strong performance by John David Washington, who I had no idea was related or the son of Denzel Washington. So I had no idea until he started speaking. I was like, that guy definitely sounds like Denzel. He doesn't look like him, but he sounds like him. And then I did some research and I found out that's his son. I was like, all right, I'm stupid. So then there's also Adam Driver in this movie, who I think personally steals the show. I think his story is really, really great and really tense, since he has to play as the white counterpart to John David Washington's characters, playing this undercover cop who is infiltrating the KKK. It's a crazy story. Just watch it yourself. And Topher Grace is also really amazing in it too. Yeah, who knew? Who knew Topher Grace would give out one of my favorite performances of last year?
America first.
America first. America first.
If I would have known this was a Klan meeting, I wouldn't have taken this mother.
So, moving on to Dumpling.
I don't know how I'm gonna survive my mom's pageant season. She already started her diet. Oh, really?
Dumpling?
Dumpling is a movie directed by Anne Fletcher. I haven't really heard of her. I'm pretty sure I might have come across something that she's created because the movie is really clean and it's a really funny and effective movie, and it covers body image and it covers self-love in a way that a lot of movies that came out last year weren't able to cover, like Insatiable or Sierra Burgess is a Loser. I didn't really get to touch on those movies, but I read a lot of articles on them and how they kind of reflect on these issues in a negative light, and I thought, okay, well, I'll watch Dumpling because I had no idea what Dumpling is about. I just thought it was a fun romp, and I watched it, and I was like, great. I love this movie. I feel so happy. The performance by Danielle McDonald is amazing. Jennifer Aniston puts out one of her best performances I have seen in ever, and I really love the movie. It's a happy, feel-good movie, and if you love Dolly Parton, which I didn't know anything about Dolly Parton before this movie, it'll make you want to look up all of Dolly Parton's albums and kind of just listen to every single single she's put out. So just watch the movie. It's fun. If you are on a date with someone, go watch it with them. It's on Netflix, so you know what that means. Oh, it means you're gonna watch a good movie. I don't know what you thought I was gonna say.
Baby. That was truly a surprise.
Next movie, Isle of Dogs.
The Japanese archipelago, 20 years in the future. Canine saturation has reached epidemic proportions. An outbreak of dog flu rips through the city of Megasaki. Mayor Kobayashi issues emergency orders, calling for a hasty quarantine. Trash Island becomes an exile colony. The Isle of Dogs.
If you guys haven't seen Isle of Dogs, it is a movie directed by Wes Anderson. If you guys don't know Wes Anderson, he's directed a lot of movies like Bottle Rocket and Grand Budapest Hotel and The Royal Tenenbaums, and the list goes on. He has done great stuff, but this movie is really special because it reminded me a lot of his work with Fantastic Mr. Fox in that it is a stop animation film, and I love animation. I love it so much, and Fantastic Mr. Fox was a great animated feature. It was recommended by my friend Nick, and I watched it and I fell in love with it, and I think this movie does it better. I think it touches on some relatable subjects such as love for dogs and what you do for those you love and loyalty, and it touches on these subjects in a really creative manner, and I think Wes Anderson has completely embraced the stop motion animation tool, and I think he's utilized it in a way that not only just makes the movie really fun to watch, but in a way that really captures his kind of style. Wes Anderson's style is really zany, it's really symmetrical, really centered. He has a very specific style, and I think this style matches that. I don't know if that made sense. I don't know if I used enough smart words in there to sound pretentious, but you get what I mean. Just watch it. It's great.
Wow.
So that kind of ends my, honorable mentions, and now let's move on to top 10s. Top 10. Just one top 10. One. There we go.